Okay, now we're going to be doing some long division. We're still only working with whole numbers, and we're going to show you this method you can use for long division that you've probably learned, and we're going to go over some of the rules for dividing any type of size number you want. So let's just divide. What is 4 divided by 2? We know that that is 2. Silly one. What is 5 divided by 2? Well, we know that that is 2, and then there's remainder 1. That's an R, remainder 1, or that's 2.5. Okay, so what is 21 divided by 7? Okay, so now we're going to denote this in long division format. So we put this little bracket, half bracket, and a line, and we say it's 21 divided by 7. So to read this out loud, we'd say, what is 21 divided by 7? And we put our answer, which we know is 3, at the top as 3. And we're going to go through how to do this now. So this is what we're going to use to denote long division. We're going to say what is 224 divided by 7. Okay, so when you were doing multiplication, addition, and subtraction, you started at the right and you worked left. Now we're going to start at the left and work right for long division. So what is 7 into 2? 7 into 2 goes 0 times, because 7 cannot be divided into 2. So we're going to put a big 0 there. What is 0 times 7? 0 times 7 is 0, right? So we draw a line across here, across 2 of the numbers, and we say 2 minus 0, or 22 minus 0 is 22. Okay? And then we're going to say, what is 7 into 22? Well, we know 7 goes into 22 3 times because we know 7 times 3 is 21. So it definitely doesn't go in 4 times because 7 times 22, 7 times 4 is 28. So 7 times 3 is equal to 21. And 7 times 4 is equal to 28. You need to know your times table to do long division. So we're going to go 7 into 22 goes 3 times. 3 times 7 is 21. Okay. Now we draw this underneath the 4 as well. We say, what is 22 minus 21? So 2 minus 1 is 1. 2 minus 2 is 0. We bring down our 4 and we get a 14 over here. Okay. So just as we asked, how does 7 go into 22? Now we're going to ask, how many times does 7 go into 14? And we know that goes in twice, because we know that 7 times 2 is equal to 14. And then 32 is our answer, without any remainders. Great. So we had a line there, we have a line there that we draw. Okay, now let's look at this example. How many times does 7 go into 226? Right? So 7 goes into 2 0 times. 0 times 7 is 0. And we bring the 22 down to get 22. 7 goes, or we bring the 2 minus 0 and we got 2. And then we brought this 2 down. 7 goes into 22 3 times. 7 times 3 is 21. We're going to draw a line across here. We say 22 minus 21 is equal to 0, 1. We bring the 6 down and we get a 6. So now how many times does 7 go into 16? That is twice. And we're going to have a remainder of 2, because we're going to go 2 times 7 is 14. We can't bring anything down besides the remainder. So 16 minus 14 is 2. So we know that that becomes our remainder of 2. So 32, remainder 2. Let's have a look at this example. How many times does 21 go into 222? 6. How many times does 21 go into 2? We know that that goes in 0 times. 21 times 0 is 0. We bring out 2. 2 minus 0 is 2. We bring our 2 down and we get 22. How many times does 21 go into 22? We know that it goes in once. 1 times 21 is 21. So we minus these two numbers. 22 minus 21, we know it's going to equal 1. We bring our 6 down. What is 6 we got here? Now how many times does 21 go into 16? It can't go into 16, so it must be 0. So 0 times 21 is 0. We're going to put 2 zeros in here. And then 16 minus 0 is equal to 16. So we know that that is our remainder. So it's 10, remainder 16. So let's do that. What if we went 21 times 10? 21 times 10, you know, is equal to 210, right? And then what if we went plus 16? We know that 210 plus 16 is equal to 226. And there's our answer. Okay, I've just cleared the writing for example 3. Now this example seems a bit out of our depth, but we can do it even though it looks so big. How many times is 340 going to 3 0 times? 0 times 347 is 0. 3 minus 0 is 3. We bring down our 5 and we get a 5. How many times is 347 going to 35? 0. 0 times 347, we know, equals 0. So we put our 0 here, we pull it across. How many times is 35 minus 0 equals 35? We bring down our 0 here, and we get a 0. How many times does 347 go into 350? It goes in once. 1 times 347, 347. That's quite easy. And now we say 350 minus 347, we know is going to be, borrow 1, we take the 4, we add a 1 over there. 10 minus 7 is 3. 4 minus 4 is 0. 3 minus 3 is 0. We've got to bring our 3 down. Don't get confused with the columns. We add our 3. How many times does 347 go into 33? 0. 0 times 347 is equal to 0. So we're going to minus these 333. We're going to bring down our 2. Here it comes. How many times does 347 go into 332? 0 times. So we add a 0. That times 0 we know is going to give us 0. We do this again. 332 minus 0 is 332. How many times, we bring the 6 down. So how many times does 347 go into 3,326? Right. Let's think about this. 347 times 10 is equal to 3,470. Okay? So we can see that it's not going in 10 times, but it most likely is going to go in 9 times because that is less than 347 less. So if we add a minus 347 from this, so what is 347 times 9? It's just simply that minus 347. And we can work that out quite easily. That's, we borrow 1, we go 6, that's 10, that's 3. 6 minus 4 is 2. 4 minus 3 is 1. 3 minus 0 is 3. Cool. This number is smaller. So it must go in 9 times. So now we've just worked out what 9 times 347 is, and that is 3,123. So we can write that there, because this is now continuing there. 3,123. You must use your calculator if you need. Now we simply got to minus these two to figure out what our remainder is. 6 minus 3 is 3. 2 minus 2 is 0. 3 minus 1 is 2. 3 minus 3 is 0. So the answer is 1,009. Remainder 203. So that's how easy it is to long division big numbers. Keep practicing it, make up your own ones, and then multiply them back together to see if your answer was right. Well done.